The global economic recession of 2008 shook the world out of its complacency. Governments fell, big businesses crashed, and every household on the planet was adversely affected. Satya Saurabh Khosla accurately predicted the economic downturn and published his findings in leading publication, the Singapore Business Times. Subsequently, Satya Khosla published this book on how to prevent recession. Tonight, we're going to ask him a few questions about this book. Satya, you combine ancient wisdom with modern strategic management theory and practice. What's the connection?
When there is no connection, it leads to the 2008 recession.
What happened to disconnect wisdom from management practice that led to the 2008 recession?
Greed.
Greed. You say in your book that many of the issues that society faces arise from an obsession with money to the detriment of creating social value. How can you move people away from being obsessed with bottom line performance and how much money is in their bank to seeing the greater contribution they can make in value terms to their family, to their friends, and to society and their nation?
Profit is like breathing for a business. We do not deny the role of profit. It is just that we should know where to draw the line. If profit is the only concern, and that is the only motivation, you'll end up harming society, leading to the 2008 recession. If we do not understand the limits of our behavior,
then will our civilization survive?
That becomes the question. Therefore, this book is written.
When man becomes greedy, he destroys everything in his path. How can we prevent this happening again? I mean, greed is, some people say, a natural part of man's condition.
It requires...
How do you change that? How do you make men not greedy, altruistic, giving, caring, forgiving, all of these wonderful concepts that drive the core of your book? How do we create this social, philosophical, economic revolution in men's minds, mankind's minds?
Through education, which trains the human mind.
But this is a tremendous challenge for any educational system. And it requires change from bottom up, doesn't it? Our educational system is producing people who leave business school and become people who create recessions. How's that change going to occur in practical terms?
For thousands of years, the ancient Indian civilization was able to produce, through its education system, people who led to economic prosperity with values. If they could do it for thousands of years, there is no reason that why we, who are the same human beings as them, cannot do it today.
Have we concentrated too much on the self and money and simple material values? Is this really the path that we've gone down that's led us to this huge economic recession? Is that the way we've gone?
Selfishness ultimately harms us. If we are able to see that before we are selfish, things would be much easier. How we are able to see it requires techniques, practices, concepts, and ways which ancient wisdom has clarified, purified, explained, and put into action for thousands of years. Maybe we can learn from some of those concepts in today's grammar, using today's language, today's theories, and apply them to today's situations.
But when future CEOs, CFOs leave the world's best business schools, they come under pressure from shareholders, boards of directors to perform. Their performance is narrowly focused. The quarterly earnings statement, the dividends paid out to shareholders and investors. how do you change a system that is reinforcing a narrow focus and ultimately greed on behalf of stakeholders and the people in the business themselves?
All stakeholders, institutions, consist of individuals. If education has reformed each individual and transformed his understanding of excellence, then these pressures would not be there on the CEOs.
So you're saying that economic recession doesn't occur because of systemic failure. It occurs because of failures in human beings.
The same way that crime in society, social disorder, social conflict occur, recession is an economic expression of the same conflict which is there within man, therefore within society. When reflected as greed, economic greed, it leads to recession.
The country that you were born in, India, is hailed throughout the world as one of the great democracies. Does that give you cause for hope that there is a sense of collective awareness that acting together for the benefit of all is ultimately the goal of all mankind? Then you have something to germinate these ideas from this book within.
The background is there because of thousands of years old tradition. We have tried to use that tradition and merge it with the best concepts and address concerns of Michael Porter of Harvard, Thomas Piketty of Paris School of Economics, and all thinkers who are modern, to give a framework which can help prevent recession in society.
I think that what you have written in your book should be a standard part of the curriculum at all business schools.
That was the idea.
Do you think they will adopt it?
That is up to them.